Coming up. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I just want to say thank you so much for 100 subscribers. I deeply appreciate the support. But with that, let's get into the video. Before we get into the meat of the video, there are a couple things I need to tell you. First thing, you will always be able to see the current game number on the top left-hand corner of the screen. Second thing, you'll always be able to see my current win streak on the right side of the screen, to prove that I will be winning all 100 games in a row as part of the challenge. But with that, let's get into the first game. Game 1. I start off by buying a pickaxe and 64 blocks and start making my way over to mid. Once I've made my way to mid, I notice that this guy is being a height limit warrior, so I go up and get him down from there. Normally I'll just wait until he jumps down, but I was feeling a little impatient today and he's not paying any attention, so I just hit him straight off. I then get his bed and steal his gen so I can buy a stone sword and chainmail armor just to make sure I 100% for sure win this fight, which I of course do. Leading into game 2, where I do the exact same thing, buy a pickaxe and 64 blocks, but something a little bit different. I immediately walk off the edge. But it's okay, I recoup, buy some more stuff, and make my way over to his base. With my first encounter with him, he gets the luckiest hits of his life, but he's really just bad, so it's okay, I hit him off the edge. And then get his bed because he did this goofy-ass, weird bed defense. Unfortunately, since I was so low from his lucky hits, I did not win this fight, even though I bought prot, but it's okay. This next fight he tries to hit me off, but I get tired of his bullshit, so I just suicide him off the edge and win. In game 3, I get put on the shortest map in the game, so I get only 32 blocks and speedily make my way to his base. Unfortunately, in my haste, I completely missed the jump and walk off the edge. Very unfortunate. But this next fight, here I go. I get up top, I hit him off, and I get his bed. Except I don't hit him off and don't get his bed. Don't know how he didn't get hit off there. Get a little greedy and die, unfortunately. This next fight, I try and jump around the pop-up tower, but I wasn't sprinted, so I walk right off the edge again. But it's okay because I use a fall damage tick to go straight through this guy and hit him off the edge, leading into our last fight, where I just block him off, break the bed, and then kill him. Game 4, the guy I'm fighting has absolutely no idea how to play the game. I was going to go up, but he started going up a little bit too high for my liking, so I was just like, whatever. Play some blocks to block him off so I can get his bed, and then just kill him. In game 5, I make my way over to mid, except I don't. I actually walk straight off the edge. And then I bridge to his base, except I don't. I walk straight off the edge again. Here, he tries to fireball me, but I clutch like a pro. And then I try and get his bed here. Super close to getting it. Unfortunately, he's a weirdo and bought an iron sword, so I do lose this fight. Moving on to the next fight. He gets the luckiest hits of his life. Very unfortunate. And so, once again, I die. But this last fight here, I take a slowness and blindness trap. I see he's obviously going to fireball me, and then I deflect it because I was super prepared for it. I jump in this amazing location after doing a little bit of stalling here. So I have a head hitter here. He just can't hit me. I mean, pretty unfortunate for this guy. And then I block him off, get his bed, and then hit a sick combo and win the game. Starting off game 6, I do my specialty and jump straight off the edge. But this guy's not very good, so when I have my first fight with him, I absolutely destroy him. And I guess my combo was too good for him because he disconnected, so when I broke his bed, I won the game. Game 7, I make my way over to the enemy's base, almost walked straight off, but clutched. And since this was the guy from last game, once he saw it was me, he disconnected, and I win the game. Game 8 was another walk in the park. This guy wasn't very good. So I see him, we're looking at each other, I jump down, hit him, get a crazy fall damage tick, block him off, break his bed, try to, fail, but it's okay because I hit him off, break his bed, and win the game. Game 9, I got the really short map, and with every game I get the really short map, I will be going for the Bedwars Duels world record. And I might have gotten it, but he fell into the void before I can kill him. Game 10, I try and make my way over to his base, but I hit the Tony Barham special, and jump straight into the void. But it's okay, I have this first fight, absolutely demolish him. make it over to his bed, break it, and kill him one last time to get the 10th win of the vid. Unfortunately, games 11 plus 12 didn't record because OBS is a piece of shit, but here's the replays from those games. Very unfortunate death. Game 13, I make my way over to mid, except I don't. I jump straight off. For this first fight here, he tries to jump on top of me, but it doesn't really work too well for him, so I then make my way over to his base. I bait his fireball here and then start bridging above his bed. Unfortunately, here I got hit with a "you can't place blocks here" and fell, and then immediately followed that up by getting hit straight off the edge. He tries to jump on me again. Once again, doesn't really work too well for him. Kill him here. I try and hit back this fireball, but it doesn't work for me. Very unfortunate. I have shears unlike last time, so I know I can just jump down on his bed and get it basically for free. So I jump down, get 2 free hits, break his bed, and then unfortunately he still kills me. He tries to hide up in the tree, but then he gets hit down and falls to his death. Game 14, this guy wasn't paying any attention, so I hit him straight off. Go into F5 to make sure I actually did hit him off. Break his bed, then go in his gen and camp here. And then I just kill him pretty easily, absolutely destroy him, honestly. Game 15, I fight somebody who just installed the game today. Hit him off the edge and make my way over to his bed. Break his bed, try and hit a little 2-pillar. It unfortunately doesn't really work too well, but I still end up hitting him off the edge and win. Game 16, I start off strong by walking straight off the edge, but it's okay, I make my way over to his bed, which is completely undefended. Try and do a little 2-pillar thing. But unfortunately, he was smart enough to actually just fireball me straight off. But after 20 seconds of unnecessary stalling, he finally jumps down, tries to hit me with an iron ingot, and then I immediately hit him off. By now, you can probably guess I walked straight off the edge. But it's okay, because I rebound by walking straight off the edge. But then I somehow make it to his base without walking straight off the edge, hit him into the void, break his bed, block myself in a corner, wait for him to respawn. He tries to get away, but I chase after him. And then I, of course, just hit him straight off the edge. Game 18, at first he wasn't paying any attention, so I thought I could just break his bed, but that didn't work. I try and hit him off the edge here, but he somehow survives on the last pixel of the block. And I'm very low here, but it's okay, I break his bed. I go for a bunch of cheeky hits here, as you'll see. 1 hit, 2 hit. I got all these nice little hits. But in the end, it's all for nothing because he survives on 1. But I bought an iron sword, and I just immediately destroy him with it. Here I managed to get to his base without walking off the edge, and he's not paying any attention, so I just break through his bed defense. Then I go in for the fight here, but as you'll notice, the last hit I did put him from 2 to 1. Great, amazing, love to see it. But this next fight here, he does a lot of stalling. Way too much to get hit straight off the edge and die to fall damage. For game 20, I absolutely just roll this guy, not much to say here. Just hit a little quick 2-pillar and then win the game. Game 21, I break this first block on this guy's bed defense so that when I hit him off here, I can break his bed while he's in the void and win the game. Game 22, I almost walk off on my way to his base, but it is okay because I actually walk off. No, it is actually okay though because he walked off too, and then I make my way over to his base. As I'm at his base, he's paying absolutely no attention, not present at all. I go in here, I break his bed, I get a couple free hits here. But it was ultimately all for nothing because he gets the luckiest double hit of his life. This next fight here, he thought buying Sharp would save him, but it really didn't. Free hit there. Crazy double hit right there, and then I trade and win. Game 23, this guy was using Hardened Clay, so I knew it was going to be an easy win. I jump on him here, get a couple of hits. He gets scared and run. He thought it was going to save him, but I chase after him, hit him, kill him, and win the game. Game 24, I start by trying to place a block on his so I can hit a 2-pillar, but it doesn't work and I get hit straight off the edge. But it's okay because I hit him straight off the edge. JK, he somehow survives, have no clue how. And instead of using this pressure, he decides to run back. And after he's done running, he finally turns around, gets 1 hit on me, but it's okay because I low ground him and hit him straight off the edge. I break his bed here and realize I'm not going to be winning this next fight, so I throw the resources in the void. We do a little bit of stalling here. I'm thinking, okay, this is good. I can use this to do a little bit of health regeneration. And after a bit, he goes in his shop, buys an iron sword. I get 2 free hits and unfortunately lose this fight, and he survives on 1. It's okay though, because this last fight I violently low ground him and he doesn't get a single hit off. Game 25, I thought he wasn't paying attention, so I try and break his bed, but when I try and block him off, it doesn't work and I get hit straight off. But it's okay because I win this next fight despite the fact he bought an iron sword like a weirdo. So then I break his bed, wait for him to walk out. Unfortunately, when he walks out, he walks on the other side of my blocks, making it a little bit harder to kill him, but it's okay because I still end up winning. Game 26, I thought it would be funny to wait here because he is not paying any attention, so I try and hit a little jump scare on him. I don't know if he got scared or not, but I sure hit him straight off the edge. Break his bed, go into his base here, camp the corner. Unfortunately, he doesn't see me and tries to run away, but since he's not paying any attention, I easily hit him straight off the edge and win. Game 27, this guy fell off while bridging, and that made him angry enough to disconnect, so I easily win. Game 28, we have a quick little fight here. Unfortunately, he hits a couple of crits and gets me on half health. Once I'm at his base here, I do some cool little bridging to try and scare him. I don't think it worked though. He gets this ridiculous hit. I try and bait him back to going on top of his bed so I can jump on him. Unfortunately, I missed this first hit and lose the fight. Now he thought buying an iron sword would save him. It didn't. And then when I make it to his base, he's not paying any attention, so I get a free bed break. Unfortunately, I don't kill him here. And as I'm walking back to his base, I totally didn't walk off. And neither did he. Game 29, I thought I was just going to be able to hit him off here. Unfortunately, he didn't go too easy. So I just run over to his bed. He didn't put any bed defense. He sees this, gets a little angry, and then disconnects, and I win the game. Game 30, this guy built a box. Unfortunately for him, I'm not an idiot, so I immediately find his bed. He's jumping, trying to get me, and I use this to hit him straight off the edge. Game 31, this guy didn't have a bed defense, so I easily break his bed. We have a little fight here, I kind of fumble. But he fumbles even harder by pulling out his compass, so I just hit him off the edge. Game 32, this guy wasn't paying any attention, so I hit him off like that. Check to make sure he actually got hit off, break his bed. Go into his generator, steal all his stuff, buy chainmail and stone, sword, just to add insult to injury, and then easily kill him. Game 33, this guy had absolutely no idea how to play. I break his bed because he's struggling to make a bed defense. Do a little stuff, I mean, nothing too fancy, just kill him. Game 34, we have another non who's not paying any attention. Hit him off, go, break his bed. I'll go to his gen. I was gonna buy a bunch of stuff, but he respawned too quickly. I thought he was gonna notice. I get a little carried away and try and think I can kill him with my fist. Unfortunately, this ends up backfiring for me, and I do in fact die. I take this next fight here, and I don't die here. He bought an iron sword. He thought it would help. He thought he would save him. He tried to run away. He thought that would save him. There's no saving from me. I just hit him off and win the game. Game 35 was against a random non with a default skin who had a bunch of numbers as his name, so normally means blatantly cheating. Luckily for me, I just hit him straight off the edge. He disconnects, gets a little mad, and I break his bed and win. Same guy here, he disconnected, and I break his bed and win. Out of curiosity, I went in the replay to check if he was cheating. You could see him violently triple shifting here. He was indeed. What a loser. Game 37, we're up against a 500 star. Very scary. I kill him here. But after this first fight, he got me really low, so I'm just going for very cheeky hits here. I get a couple. But unfortunately, he gets the kill there. Instead of buying a gap, he bought an iron sword, so -7 iron for him, I guess. After doing a lot of stalling here, I eventually jump down, try and break the bed. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I almost think here that I can kill him, but I mess up my block placements. Here he god bridges all the way to my base, and I mean, I gotta admit, like, that's kind of impressive. I can't lie. I was kind of in shock here, because he god bridged from the other side of the map all the way to my bed. Pretty impressive. I saw that he had a KB stick in his hand, so I'm very scared here. I could easily get hit off the edge, and he could break my bed while I'm still in the void. Don't want to lose the game like that. Instead of trying to hit me with his KB stick, he hits me with his sword, and I kill him. Here I do an epic 360 and kill him, despite the fact he bought another iron sword. Go, break his bed with my shears, try and kill him again. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for me. This next fight, he horribly misses his fireball. Once again, I'm going for those cheeky hits. Unfortunately, he hits me off, but Fortunately, while he's bridging up to that god bridge he made, he falls off and I win the game. Here, this guy had a big bed defense, so I go to the side of his base, leading him over here to try and do something. I don't really know what I was going to try and do, but he jumps straight off, so it works. I break his bed, and then I get the kill here. Game 39, you totally can't see the blue blocks on the side from when I walked off earlier. Luckily for me, he makes an insane play, and I get his bed. He respawns, we have a little fight. I get the most insane KB ever and hit him straight off the edge. Game 40, once again, I definitely didn't walk off before this. Try and get the bed here, unfortunately miss. It's cool because I have an iron pick and I can just get it at any time like this. Hit a little 2-pillar and finish the fight. Game 41, I was going for the world record again. I got the short map, and I was actually really close. I was less than a second away from getting it. Game 42, first fight. We go in with some block placements, get that free hit there, and then just finish him off here. And then he tries to buy an iron sword, doesn't hit me a single time. Once again, doesn't hit me a single time. I get his bed, I go to buy a diamond sword, but he leaves before I can use it. Game 43, we got a Nick Sweat. Unfortunately, I fall straight off. I saw him coming, so I ran back. I want to be really safe here. I'm on a big win streak. So, I buy Endstone knowing that he doesn't have a pickaxe and that even if I lose this fight, I will not lose my bed. But I did not lose the fight, so there's nothing to be worried about. Here we have another case of Iron Sword Syndrome. What a waste of 7 gold. I was half health. He really should have won that fight. But I was a one-tap here, depending on if he got a crit or not. So unfortunately, I was not able to get the bed. Here we have a little crit war underneath this staircase. Unfortunately, I lose. But he was a one-tap, so I'd easily win the next fight. Here he makes this insane play, walks straight off the edge, causing him to disconnect and giving me the win for free. Game 44, this guy tries to get me with block placements. It doesn't work too well for him. He tries to skip, also doesn't work too well for him. I back up, predict his fireball. I go on top of him here, we look at each other, and then he just goes right there, letting me hit him straight off. Except he doesn't get hit off, he just disconnects. Game 45, I go for the speedrun strats again, but low-key get manhandled. But it's okay, I make up for it with this next fight where he doesn't hit me a single time. And then I make it over to his base to finish the job, break this one piece of endstone, notice his back's up against the edge, so I hit him off so that I can break his bed while he's in the void. Game 46, this guy was going up really high, and I don't really like people that do that, so I just went over to his base, placed some blocks, hit him off the edge so I can also break his bed while he's in the void. Game 47, this guy disconnects, reconnects, and then disconnects again. I fell off the edge so many times that by the time I made it over to his bed, it auto-broke from him being disconnected too long. Game 48, this guy was being super aware, so I hit him straight off the edge. I was trying to bait him out here to save his bed, but he went AFK, so I just kill him. Game 49 was the same AFK guy from last game, so I just kill him and win the game. Game 50. Where do I start? First off, I'll start by saying that this is the same Nick Sweat from Game 43. And instead of fighting me like an actual player, he just runs right past me and grabs my bed. I shouldn't have chased him back, and unfortunately I wasn't able to catch him, and I lose my bed for the first time in the video. I grabbed his diamonds here, but I'm really scared because I think he can get more stuff from mid than I can, and he might outgear me in later fights. But instead of doing that, he decides to immediately push me at his bed. And I win the fight, clutching the 50 win streak. Game 51, I destroyed this absolute sweat. What a try hard. It was a miracle I beat him. Game 52, the guy disconnected, so, easy win. Game 53, it's been a minute since I included a clip of me falling, so here's one for old time's sake. Here I was going to jump on this guy and try and hit him off the edge, but it didn't really work. And then I got hit with a you can't place blocks here, so that's great. Love to see it. Here I went on top of him. I noticed that his bed defense was really easy to get into, so I just broke 2 blocks, blocked into it, broke his bed, got a hit there, and then made it out of his bed defense, and then got a final crit to end the game. Game 54, this guy wasn't paying any attention, so I just go, I break his bed. I get 2 free hits here. I think I'm going to win this fight. Little did I know this guy would start getting the luckiest hits of his life. Failed the 2-pillar, get hit off, clutch, and then still die anyways. Getting flashbacks to game 50 here. He's trying to skip me. Couldn't let that happen. Game 55. This guy disconnected. Game 56, I do some elite jester maxing. But it's okay because he wasn't paying that much attention, so I just go get his bed. Get a hit there, get another hit there, and then finish the job. Game 57, another super sweaty game. Game 58 was really annoying because, like, fireball. And then here I hit him more times than he hits me, but he still wins the fight. He was on his way to my base, so I bought Instone just to be safe. I notice I'm not seeing him anymore, so that leads me to two thoughts. He either went back to his base, or he's hiding on this little island somewhere. And I was pretty sure he was hiding on this little island somewhere, so I was being really cautious. I'm not leaving this little island until I either see him at mid or at his base, because I wouldn't want him sneaking past me. But when I go up here, I start to hear footsteps, so I know he's here. So now it's just a waiting game of when he's going to pop out. I crouch to give him, like, hope, maybe, and then he actually falls for it, and then I hit him straight off. And then here I try and break his bed, but he violently luck maxes me. And then here, once again, Iron Sword Syndrome. He thinks Iron Sword's gonna save him. It doesn't. And then I break his bed here. He completely misses his fireball and jumps off. Thank God, because this guy was insufferable. Game 59, I'll tell you, these sweats are getting out of hand. Game 60, I go to this guy's bed, I break one block. Then I try and block in because I know he'd be coming soon, but unfortunately I forgot I'm a solos main and I can't block in, so I die. Here I go above him, try and do some fancy bridging stuff, but then I fall. It ends up working out for me because it gave me low ground. And then here, I get these 2 free hits, very nice. And I just break his bed, mine through the wool, nothing too special here. And then somehow, I couldn't tell you how, somehow he manages to win this fight. Maybe because I switched to my pickaxe. Here I tried to block trap him, but Hypixel hates me. Luckily for me, his dumbass walked straight off the edge. Game 61 after walking off. Then making it to his base and walking off again. I try and throw a silverfish at him here for this first fight. He fireballs it, unfortunately. Hit a nasty 2-pillar on him. He doesn't hit me a single time. Unfortunately, when I get to his base, he fireballs me off, and I die. Here, I threw a silverfish at him. He tried to place a TNT. I don't know what that play was. The silverfish ended up killing him so I could break his bed. I go into his shop. I buy a gapple so I can heal up. I'm pretty low here. Wouldn't want to lose this fight. I fail to eat the gapple because my mouse is kind of broken. And then I just hit him straight off the edge here. Game 62, I noticed this guy's name was pretty sweaty, kind of scared. Unfortunately, I walk off the edge, giving him a bunch of free pressure. When he does make it to my base, I place him endstone just to be safe when want to lose this 61 win streak. He was indeed very sweaty, as you could tell by that fireball jump and all this block placing. Unfortunately, he gets hit off the edge. Almost, he kind of clutches, but then he gets hit off the edge and gives me enough diamonds to buy Prot 1. I'd void his diamonds that I got from his gen. Unfortunately for me, he has iron armor here, and I didn't. We do whatever this is. I'm not really sure. We just do a bunch of block breaking. I'm waiting to get some free hits or something. Unfortunately, it doesn't work too well for me. I try and, like, hit him off into the void. Doesn't work. Here, he tries to fireball me off the edge, and I'm getting absolutely railed here. But I kind of block him up here. I get enough time to pop a gap. Luckily, my mouse wasn't fucking up here. And then he tries to hit me off with a KB stick instead of his sword, so I end up winning the fight. Here, I don't think I'm really going to win the fight, but I try. Yeah, I try and low ground him here, but he's low ping, so it takes him 12 hours to move when I hit him. Here, we both walked off the edge, so after I respawn, I get my 8 diamonds that I've been storing up over the course of the game, allowing me to get Prot 2 and Sharp, making the fights several times easier. As you'll see here, I kind of just destroy him when we mostly trade hits. Make it to his base, hit him off, break his bed while he's in the void, and win the game. Game 63, this guy disconnected. Game 64, this guy wasn't paying the slightest bit of attention. Hit a little 2-pillar here. He doesn't hit me a single time. Game 65, after killing this guy, I go to his bed, break it, and I unfortunately didn't get the kill here. Tried to hit 2-pillar, couldn't place blocks, and then failed the other 2-pillar. Here he's doing a little bit of stalling. Eventually he jumps down, tries to hit me with a KB stick, but it doesn't work at all. Game 66, this guy jumps on me. Doesn't work too well for him. He then walks off the edge. I try and make my way over to his bed. Of course, I walk straight off the edge, though. Fortunately for me, he disconnected, so I get a free win. Game 67, we were kind of looking at each other for a bit on this bridge. Eventually, he does jump at me, and somehow he survives that, but I don't. As he makes his way over to my bed, I put endstone on it. Really scared. Once again, 66 win streak. Not losing it, I can't. Hit him right off. Violently low ground him. After stalling on his roof for a bit, he finally tries to come up and get me, allowing me to break his bed while he's in the void after hitting him off. Game 68, after making it to this guy's base, I jump down. We play a little ring around the rosy with his bed defense. I break this block here, try and break his bed before I could kill him, but unfortunately it doesn't happen. So I just go into his gen, rob all of his stuff, horribly fail to chest the gold. But he thinks he can just walk into his shop and not die, so he dies. Game 69, nice. After making it to his bed, he gets this interesting hit. I don't know how he reached me all the way up there, but I kind of bait him back on top of his bed defense. I have an iron pick here, so I just melt his bed defense and finish him off. Game 70, I got the really quick map, but I unfortunately ran out of blocks. I for sure would have gotten the world record here if I wasn't such an idiot. Further proving I would have gotten the world record, you can see this guy clearly has absolutely no idea what he's doing. Game 71, my game has a seizure. Saves me from death, actually, so it's pretty cool. Come over here, teleports me back again. You can actually see my ping is registered as unknown, and the server TPS isn't doing that well either. We have our first little fight here. Just kidding, he jumps straight off. And then after fireballing me here, he makes this insane play, causing him to disconnect and giving me the win. Game 72, I missed this jump for probably the 10th time, but it's okay, this guy disconnected, so I just do a little cool fireball jump, epic clutch, and break his bed. Game 73, this guy tries to suicide me off, doesn't work. I break his bed, I go in for the fight. Unfortunately, I fuck up my aim and get absolutely molested. Here I predict he's going to fireball jump over me, so I'm ready to hit him off, and yeah, that's exactly what I do. Game 74. I'm going up against the same guy here. I go in for the bed break, but unfortunately I don't get the kill. But it's okay, because this next fight, I just jump on him here. He tries to KB stick me. I have no clue what he thought that was going to do. Game 75, I didn't press the record button, so here's the replay. I kill him here. He was doing pretty good. I'm kind of surprised that made him disconnect, and I just win the game for free. Game 76, this guy tries to come out and defend his bed, doesn't really work. I'm really good at getting quick bed breaks like that. And I just say fuck it and just beat the fuck out of him with my fist. He somehow doesn't kill me here. Game 77, I go for the speedrun strat, but get touched. It's okay though, I make up for it with this next fight. And then here, I think he lags out, because he's kind of just frozen in the shop, so free win for me, I guess. Game 78, I suck as usual. But it's okay because we have this little fight here. I'm trying to hit him away so I can break his bed and then kill him. And that's exactly what I do here. Get his bed and end the game. Game 79 is like pretty depressing. Scratch that, really depressing. I am a 500 star, by the way. But, it is okay. This guy isn't very good, so I win this first fight here. Get 2 free hits once I make it to his base. And then try and finish him off. Unfortunately, he survives on 0, because that's a health you can survive on. Failed to break his bed here. I was going to go buy a gap, but I kind of had to break his bed. I didn't realize this when I was playing, but he actually said holy auto-clicker. I am definitely not auto-clicking. He's running away, letting me buy stuff in his shop, so I get a gap and a fireball. I thought he was going to try and run, so I was going to fireball him, but then he just jumps back and I hit him off. Game 80, I play some blocks here, play a little ring around the rosy with the bed defense, kind of get cooked here, but then I do some excellent spacing and manage to kill him. Break his bed, I try and go in his shop and buy an iron sword, but I wasn't fast enough, so he kind of killed me. But it's okay, because this last fight here, I just, finished the job. Game 81, obviously, before this, I fell in the void. I mean, is that even a question? But, this guy's not paying any attention. Hit him off. Break his bed. Wait for him to respawn. I'm gonna finish him off here. Game 82, I was a fraction of a second off the world record. I would have gotten it, but I fucked up my movement earlier. Very unfortunate. Game 83, fun fact, I'm actually tagged for legit scaffing. I don't know why, but I think this video is proof enough that I am not cheating. Here we have our first fight. I just kill him real quick, you know, nothing too special. Here I actually block trap him. I, you know, like, come on, lock in. Like, getting block trapped in the big 26 is beyond me. But, you know, I break his bed. Play some blocks. I low ground him here, and then I just, you know, get that free hit. So yeah, I just won the fight. I mean, pretty easily. Game 84, this guy was actually kind of sweaty. I hit a little 2-pillar. It kind of works out for me. Unfortunately, I do lose the fight. He did have a stone sword. Here, he tries to do some extra shit. Doesn't work out too well for him. Here, we're on this bridge. He almost hits me off the edge, but I luckily land on this little mid-platform. Here, I had him chasing me, and I went on the other side here, and I thought I could get his bed for free. Unfortunately, I wasn't fast enough, and he was smart enough to place a block. Here, you know, I got some free hits, pretty nice, but he has iron armor, and I have chainmail, and I have lower health. We both realize at this moment that I can get his bed, so he runs away, and then I just get his bed. And this is how he ends the 4-minute long game. Game 85, the awareness of nons kind of surprises me sometimes. I mean, I used to be bad, but like, holy shit, these guys are blind. Like, Helen Keller, death and blind, I swear. Game 86, Mr. Baco Destroyer didn't have a bed defense, so you know, it's pretty easy for me to break his bed, and despite the fact I get way more hits than him, the gear diff was too much for me to handle. But once I get a stone sword and chainmail armor, I easily win. Game 87, unfortunately I lose this first fight. He kind of low grounds me. But he makes this insane play here, allowing me to get some pressure, and I show him the true meaning of low grounding there, allowing me to get his bed, and then finishing off the game because he thinks he can go in his shot. Game 86, this first fight here, I just low ground him and hit him off, so I can get his bed, and then I thought I was going to win this first fight here. Unfortunately, he gets a free hit there. I try and low ground him, but it just doesn't work. Here, he was going up, I just say fuck it and let him jump on me, and you know, I still win, so. Game 89, this guy disconnected, but I lose the 0v1. But it's okay, because I got a fireball and did an epic fireball jump. And if you'll look at my hotbar, you'll notice that I have a TNT, so I can do an epic TNT jump. So cool. Game 90, I went up against this guy who will be a reoccurring character later in the video. Luckily, he's not very good. And here I hit a fall damage tick so I can snag his bed, but he just says fuck it and jumps off, so it's pretty cool. The final stretch, game 91, I'm going up against Lytra Ah. His name's probably that because he's ass, you know what I'm saying? He's not very good. So I kill him, and then make my way over to his base, where he then lets me hit him right off the edge and break his bed. Game 92 was one of my hardest games yet. Game 93, after chasing this guy all the way back to his base, I kill him, and as you guys saw, this was the guy from a couple games ago. Here I try and hit a little 2-pillar, but he had spawn prot, and it kind of fucked me. But he thought I was too stupid to buy a pickaxe, so I just break right through his bed, and finish the job. Game 94, look who it is, guys. Yeah, I hit him right off and broke his bed. Game 95, and you'll never believe who I'm against. Oh, he just said fuck it again. Game 96, I'm against somebody you guys never seen before. Just kidding, it's the same guy from the last like 3 games. He just jumps off the edge again. Game 97, I got a little cocky and tried to kill this guy with my fist. It didn't work. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I broke his bed, and also I killed him with a fireball here. It's pretty funny. Game 98, we actually got a new guy this time. Unfortunately, he was even worse than the last guy. So, he's also pretty laggy too. And this time I do kill him with my fist. Game 99, I was on good pace, but as you saw, he was placing hardened clay, and, you know, all the hope just drained from my body. But, you know, I do end up getting the kill here, after missing a couple of hits. but it's hardened clay. Normally you can't break it with your fist, but you'll notice that this guy, instead of running over to me, he just slowly walks over to me. So, you know, I break his bed and kill him. Game 100. We've came a long way. It's taken a while to get here. It's been a lot of hardships. It's been tough editing all this and actually getting an 100 win streak, but I started off like every game since game 1. I buy a pickaxe and 64 blocks and make my way over to the enemy base. Now that I've made my way over to him, I start going up to his bridge. He jumps on me here, and you know, it was a close one, but somehow he manages to hit me off the edge here. After walking all the way back over here, I unfortunately fall and then get sniped off the edge with a fireball. Here he's going back to his base with some diamonds. I'm following him. I accidentally hit scroll wheel there, so you saw I was kind of struggling to get up, and I'm just taking it slow, you know, nice and slow. Slow and steady wins the race. Here, I try and go for a little cheeky little hit, but I miss, so I just run into his base. Unfortunately, he does get that one hit. I try and hit a 2-pillar, which would have worked pretty well, but my aim is shit. I think maybe I could get the bed. I couldn't. So I just kill him here, surviving on half a heart, break his bed, run into his gen, and steal everything he owns. He decided to stay at his base, so, you know, I'm pushing him at his base. Unfortunately, I block trap myself like an absolute fucking buffoon. But, you know, that's okay. I get back up. I make my way over. I see him, prot iron. I got a gapple, a KB stick, 2 fireballs. You know, I pop a gap, throw the fireballs at him, you know, get him a little low, and then I finish the job, winning the 100th game. So that's it. I did it. We did it. All 100 games, 1 in a row. It took a lot of effort to make this video possible. About 3 days of recording and editing. It's by far the most work I've put into a single video so far. But it's all for you guys. Thank you guys for 100 subscribers. And thank you guys for sticking around to this point. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Maybe drop a comment. It would be greatly appreciated. But with that, peace. And I lost the win streak to an 1,000-star hacker. Fuck my life.